So Akiane's Prince of Peace, is that what he really looked like? Or is my painting more accurate? Hey guys, it's John sitting here in my living room enjoying a beautiful mug of coffee. Had someone come onto my channel just yesterday, try to knock me down, saying that I'm a caffeine addict and Jesus never would have been addicted to anything, and so you can't be the the reincarnation of John. I giggled. Why did I giggle? One mug of coffee does not an addict make. Enjoying one mug of coffee a day does not an addict make. And on top of it, he finished his comment saying that I'm fat. So so you're just trying to knock me down because you don't like what I say, and that's okay. You're allowed to do that. I respect your beliefs. You just don't respect mine, and that lack of respect you have is coming from your fear of not being right. And so I have no problem. Enjoy your life of judgment and anger at other people who don't believe the same as you do. I'll stick with what I do and enjoy my coffee and love my life. That was just a quick comment on this video. Akiane's painting, Prince of Peace. Everyone asks me about this painting. They say, is this what he looked like? And I say, look at my painting. That's what I say he looks like, right? I think Akiane is an extremely talented artist. I'm just so blown away by her. She's a much better painter than I am. She's a much better painter than I am. That said, what did Jeshua look like? Her painting or mine? Well, let's talk about her painting for a little bit. There are multiple stories about how that painting came to be. And several of those stories come from Akiane herself. The story changed multiple times. There are people who say that it was a vision that came to her head, that she sat down and painted this vision that had come into her head. There were other people that said that she had prayed for Jesus to come and sit for a portrait and knock at the door, and this unnamed carpenter came in and sat down for the portrait, and she painted the portrait. There's other people who tell different stories about it, but the story that rings most true to me is this one of the many stories that Akiane said herself about the painting, because you can find multiple stories from her herself, that her neighbor was having some work done by a handyman, and her neighbor knew that Akiane wanted to do a painting of Jeshua, and so she brought the handyman over. She says, "Look at this guy. He could be a great model for Jesus," and he sat for a painting. So it was her neighbor's handyman. I'm curious if that story is even true, because if you look at the actual painting, it looks remarkably like Bruce Marciano from the Video Bible series. Looks almost exactly like the guy. He looks like her painting looks like a Northern Italian man. He looks very like Northern. It has a little sandy colored hair, and the look and the structure of the face was very much a Northern Italian man. Like I said, I think she's extremely talented. One of my issues with the painting is it just doesn't work anthropologically, right? It doesn't work because it's more of a European person. When I painted my painting, it was 6 months after my past life regression. Now, for those of you who don't know a lot about my past life regression, when I had that regression and met Jeshua in that regression, my regression was very visceral. It was as if my consciousness had shifted. So I was physically on the beach, feeling the air and the rocks beneath my feet, and I was literally, I felt like I was physically there. I could smell the fish, right? The regressionist's conversation with me was in my mind. So it was like I literally had swapped places of consciousness, which I thought was interesting. I still think it's fascinating, by the way. My memory of him and that painting that I did was done directly from that memory. If you believe that or not, that's fine. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm just painting the painting from my memory. So, did I ask him to sit for a painting? No. I went into my regression and I went from meeting the man to putting him on canvas. People have this concept of what he should look like. He has to be this very pleasant looking man. He has to be this expression, and they come with biases, and most people come with the biases of they want them to look more like them. So being more European, he actually matches more people than he would if he were Middle Eastern. The rest of Akiane's paintings all look European as well. The painting of Mary, they all look like European people. They don't look like Middle Eastern people. My painting is controversial because it looks like a Middle Eastern man, but he still has blue eyes. Why is that controversial? Because people know that Middle Eastern people now have most of them have brown eyes. I was the same way. I was like, how could he have blue eyes? But in my regression, I remember blue eyes. So because it was striking to see this person who looked Middle Eastern with blue eyes. It was a striking look. And under hypnosis, I literally ended the whole thing with, he has blue eyes, by the way. He has blue eyes. And it was important for me to say that in that regression. So I don't care whether you like my painting or not. I really don't. I can't tell you how many people have told me it's creepy. I think the word creepy is interesting. I think people look at the painting and they say it's creepy because they don't want him to look like a Middle Eastern man. I think they want him to look more like them, more like a European, more like the Bruce Marciano or the neighbor's handyman. But in reality, my painting is only a painting from direct memory, from the regression. Whether you believe in regressions or not, whether you believe in reincarnation or not, that's fine. I'm not asking you to believe me, like I said. I never ask anyone to believe anything I say. I'm only speaking my truth. But when someone reaches out just to tell me how terrible my painting is, that says more about them than it does about me. They tell me how creepy it is, how horrible it is, how the painting judges them. I've heard so many things about my painting. If you stood in the presence of that painting and just looked in those eyes, you might have a different experience. So people look at it in the background of my videos and they start to say, that's a terrible, creepy painting, right? You're looking at it on a video on YouTube. If you stood close and you looked in those eyes, you would see a depth there that you don't normally see. But if you want to hang the Prince of Peace in your house and say that's your depiction of Jeshua, I completely respect that. It's a much nicer painting. It's a much nicer painting. Now let's talk about Akiane herself. If you go online and you search her and you start looking at her videos, she eventually started to talk about herself as if she was a prophet. She started to sell herself as if she was some holy being that was the vessel of God delivering things. And I honestly think that this was not from her personal belief. I believe people around her were putting her on pedestals and saying that she was from God, and as a child she learned that this ideology that she was some special spiritual being that was here on earth, rather than being a very talented artist. And I kind of feel sad for her because when you look at her videos, she's buying into the idea that she's a prophet. But her paintings make no sense, and her Prince of Peace has multiple stories about how it came to be. Many from her herself. She changed her story multiple times. So I think that she's probably a child who was very talented, and people around her gave her a belief system of supernatural identity, and I think she kind of got lost in it. And do I love her painting? It's a beautiful painting. I don't think it looks like Jeshua in any way, shape, or form, but it's a beautiful painting. All of her paintings are beautiful. She's amazingly talented. But did it look like him? That's the question. Did it look like him? I don't believe it does. And so you'll have to make your own discernment on it. But in my personal life, in my personal and spirituality is a personal journey, I can't believe that's him because I have a memory of what he looked like. So that's what I painted. Now, I am not asking you to drop into a camp. Yeah, hers is right, yours is wrong, yours is right, hers is wrong. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters in any way, shape, or form what he looked like. And he would agree with me, I think. All he cared about was awakening people to their own power, to their own identity, their own understanding that they themselves were not only divine, but equal with everyone else who's also divine. Putting himself on a pedestal and trying to be a prophet or a deity would not in any way, shape, or form comport with his teachings. He would much rather have had everyone find their divinity and wake up than remember who he was. And so, to me, I don't think it matters. The painting gives me much comfort. I look at the painting and I see my friend, right? And the latest painting I did, I had him on a 3/4 a little bit, and I got his wife. Yes, I said wife, laughing because the majority of my regression memories are laughter, So I painted this laughter painting, this other painting. But it comes down to you have to make your own decision as to whether it's important or not what he even looked like. It doesn't matter if you think the Prince of Peace is right or you think mine's right. What matters is that you do the teachings and not judge the other person for their painting or their belief systems. I'm not judging Akiane on this. I'm stating the facts that are readily available online, period. I think she's an exceptionally talented artist. I don't think her painting looks like Jesus or Jeshua in my case. I don't think it looks like him. But that's okay. You can think it looks like him, that's okay. Doesn't matter what he looked like. It only matters that you love one another and stop, trying to knock other people down because it doesn't comport with what you believe. So does it look like him? Who cares? I don't, right? I'm only doing what I believe. So this is my thought on this, guys. And I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you. Bye.